right. So first, I just kind of wanted to thank everyone for being here to celebrate basically the most incredible woman I've ever known. She is the actual glue that has held this family together, strengthened one another, and always shown up no matter what. Mom, you've constantly given your loving advice, sometimes, always unsolicited, yet needed nonetheless. I have come to expect and appreciate the emails titled, "Just a Thought," Thanksgiving menu surveys, and my favorite after purchasing my first condo and decorating it, an estimated 50 emails titled, "What about this one?" Mom, you're the most generous woman I've ever known, with your time, love, concern, and overall self. You've become not only my mother, but my best friend and an effortless transition. Thank you so much for being my rock, dreaming my dreams, right along with me, crying with me when it's all just too much to handle, and fighting tooth and nail to make the world a happier place for me. I believe I can speak for everyone here. We truly are the lucky ones. I love you.
You have no idea how difficult this kid was growing up. Andy, when did you turn into a human being? I missed that moment. I don't know. Kat Garson, our middle daughter. Come on out. Yeah.
Okay. What did I write? Okay. My mother is more than a mother, really. She's real and consistent and equally as magical. She has continued to develop new superhero powers over the course of her life. Unwavering commitment, endurance, selflessness are at the top of the list. In 3rd grade, I lost a tooth, and I woke up to the most magical letter of my life. The tooth fairy had left me a handwritten note with a drawing of herself. She explained who she was, like all that she liked to do in her spare time. She sort of looked like Jackie O, but kind of dressed like Madonna. She promised to visit me again. I could not believe it. Are you kidding me? The real tooth fairy wrote me. So I brought that letter and drawing to show and tell the next day. I could not wait for the epic reveal to the other kids. I went in my backpack, took out the picture, I just held it up and said, "The tooth fairy." "Yeah, I know her." Every kid's mouth was on the floor. I think I was 11 years old when Nana pulled me into the living room to tell me that my mom was in fact the tooth fairy. I paused for a moment to let it sink in and responded with, "So?" I was expecting to feel deflated, but nothing happened. I didn't tell my mom what Nana said and watched her as she drove us back to our house. At that moment, I realized that my mother was more magical than the tooth fairy herself. And I also realized that Nana was immature. My mom is a force. Is she the tooth fairy? Is she Santa? Only Nana knows. Growing up, my mom kept like this old school date planner in the kitchen, and every day was filled with like A, K, B, and S for Annie, Kat, Blair, and Stuart, her 4th child. From rehearsals to play dates to horseback riding to doctor's appointments, her days were filled with taking care of us. So little room left for herself. And whenever my dad asks what she wants, even for her 70th birthday, she says, "Give them more." her kids. So I dug up an email from my mom. I have hundreds, like everybody else, but I feel like this captures her so well. Kat. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Okay. There is one thing you need to understand and learn to live by. This life we have been given is an everyday journey, and success is in everyday effort, not at the end of the rainbow or found suddenly and forever yours. Try to understand that you have to try to find joy and satisfaction in every single day of your life. Face every day with the realization of how very blessed you are to have the family you have, the health you have, the love you have, the talent you have, the opportunities you have, and then go out and live that day trying to do your best for yourself and for others. What you need to do tomorrow is live. That's in all caps, that's why I said it like that. Appreciate each day, put your face in the sun or in the rain, and try to move forward. The real discovery will be yours if you actually do these things. Disappointments are a major part of everyone's life, but small miracles happen every day. Your smile can heal a stranger's heart. Your kindness can lift a lonely person's spirit. You have been given many gifts. Celebrate yourself. Take yourself off that big hook and just live each day one at a time. So my sweet daughter, take a bath, cuddle up, and say your prayers. As Gramps always says, tomorrow is a new day. And no one knows better than Gramps and Scarlett O'Hara. I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. No one knows better than you. Thank you for dusting my life with a little extra fairy dust and really good advice on what it means to really live, all caps. To have gratitude, to have serious guts. You taught me to choose joy and choose joy again. You've taught me to kick ass, sorry Rabbi Scoff, and take names. And because of you, my life is really beautiful. So if I could go back to 3rd grade and show and tell, I would go into my backpack and pull out a picture of you, Mom. This is my mom.
Okay. Thank God that was light. Try that part. I don't know about you guys, I'm feeling pretty good. Next, we're going to go out on Chagrin and have cars run over us. Okay. All right, hey. Our youngest daughter, Blair Jacobs, who will perform Cry Me a River while delivering her remarks at the same time.
So first, let me just say, story of my life, following that one. Seriously, story of my life. I just want to say it was really hard for me to write these remarks without having my mom telling me what she thought, because it's really hard for me to do anything without having my mom's opinion. Also, my dad told me to keep my crying to a minimum, which is really difficult for me considering I cry at State Farm commercials. But I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna start by saying the mushy stuff. My mom is simply the best. There is no one more genuine, committed, supportive, engaged, funny, it's not just you, Dad, empathetic, and loving than she is. Being her daughter is one of the things that gives me the most amount of pride in this world. She is everything that I want to and strive to be, which I think frightens Annie and Kat a little bit. When we were growing up, my mom dedicated her entire life to taking care of the 4 of us, Dad, you're included. I never knew until somewhat recently what that meant she did day in and day out. And now that I'm in the throes of it, holy shit. I seriously have no effing idea how you did it. And I know you'll say Valium, but still, the fact that you're still standing is proof that there is a God. Now that she's almost done raising us and she has a little more time on her hands, she's turned her attention to helping us. Let me give you a few examples. I live in a different state than my mom, and there has not been one time where I needed her or wanted her that she wasn't there. She jokes about wishing she could teleport, but I swear she's actually hiding that superpower from all of us. She shows up for everything: births, birthday parties, holidays, moving, hard days, sick days, happy days, surgeries, and pretty much everything in between. She makes being in two places at once seem pretty easy. If I happen to mention to my mom that I want to buy my kids something, let's say maybe an art easel, not only does she say, "No, I'm buying it," but then she proceeds to send about 23 emails about what Google users deem the best easel, and that Sarah from Idaho didn't like it because the magnetic strips weren't strong enough, but Jill from Indiana gave it 5 stars because it was super durable and easy to put together. I can promise you, if you're considering purchasing something that costs $50 or less, you can expect more research and emails from my mom than anyone on the planet. So this year was my first year hosting Passover at my house. Honestly, I couldn't have done it without her help. She sent me a shopping list and explicit directions on how to cook everything and when. She then checked in with me, like an alarm clock, to ensure I was on schedule. She was a little upset that my grocery store didn't sell Croydon House matzo ball soup and almost overnighted it to me, but I talked her off the ledge. She even had me on the phone with 4 of her friends while they all chimed in about how I should be making my matzo ball soup. Thanks, ladies. I think I nailed it. My mom also makes the best recommendations on what shows to binge watch. About 2 months ago, I told my mom about the funniest show that she had to watch. We talked at length about the premise and the characters. Just last week, I got a text from my mom to me and my sisters telling us we had to watch this hilarious show she just discovered on Netflix. Really, the best recommendations. Let me be clear, I make fun of her all day long, but she knows, and I know, I couldn't do life without her. She is my sounding board. My advisor, and as cliche as it sounds, my best friend. I love you, Mom. I'll stop crying in 2019. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Blair, for that poignant. Okay, everybody settle down. My turn. It's not easy to edit my remarks about Cheryl when I have a lifetime of material in my inventory. And that is why I will only speak for 2 hours. I have known Cheryl for 64 years. We first met at our grade school bus stop on the corner of Fenwick and Traymore. Ricky, you know what I'm talking about. As many of you know, Cheryl is much older than me. I was 5 years old and Cheryl was 6. I was too intimidated by her beauty, poise, and utter and total indifference to me to approach the most popular girl at Canterbury Elementary School. Stupid me. It would take me another 19 years to summon the courage to approach her and deliver defiantly my most memorable line, "Hey, remember me?" You wouldn't know this to look at her, but Cheryl is one tough cookie. Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
That about sums up my... Who I am. Who was that you, Lee? Yeah. What a guy. And that's why we made him a doctor. All right, let's get back on script here. All right, everybody? You wouldn't know this to look at her, but Cheryl is one tough cookie. There are only two people in this world whose wrath I fear. One is my father, Barney Garson, and he's been dead 16 years. And that's how tough he was. The other is Cheryl. She is the consummate straight shooter, and she will shoot you right between the eyes if you cross her or anyone else she loves. She is fiercely loyal, but her loyalty requires total honesty. In all things and transactions, you lose her trust and you lose her. She knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. She loves quality but hates retail. She loves hunting for the bargain. In fact, she has elevated bargain hunting to an art form. If bargain hunting were an Olympic event, she would have multiple gold medals. She is anything but spoiled, and yet it is my great joy to spoil her. Now that's talent. No one, and pay attention to this, no one receives a gift as enthusiastically and excitedly as Cheryl. It is a great joy to behold, to be on the giving end of a gift to her. It doesn't matter how much the gift, she lights up the room when presented with one. At holiday time, when I come home with a gift basket from a vendor or client, you need to see her tear it apart. Stuart, did you see the almonds? The chocolate swizzle stick things. The fancy crackers, oh my God, the cheese. You would think she just won the lottery. But in fact, for our girls and always for me, Cheryl is our winning lottery ticket. She is our fixer and possesses that Ponsky mechanical gene. She knows how to do stuff. Unlike me, she reads directions and understands them. Unlike me, she actually follows them. She does the Google and finds solutions on YouTube and then fixes the thing, the whatever. She will tackle a problem with precision and resolve. And as a Garson, I was raised with the invaluable skill of learning to call the guy when something needed to be done. Who knew I would end up marrying the guy named Cheryl? She is the sun in our solar system, and me and our daughters are her planets that revolve around her. Cheryl is the gift to me and her children that keeps on giving. Her daughters adore her, and there is no problem too small or insignificant that Cheryl won't tackle with them on a daily basis. They call her multiple times a day, and she is always available to console, counsel, gossip, or just laugh with them. When I occasionally pick up the phone from one of their calls, I'm usually stuck after hello and is everything okay? Then I pass the phone to Cheryl, and hours later, she's still talking. How is that possible? Her taste and sense of fashion are impeccable, and I marvel at her ability to just know that works. She is the most self-confident person I know, which is just another one of her remarkable character traits. If Cheryl gives you a thumbs up on something, particularly on an attire decision, you're done. Just quit with the doubts. I can't tell you how often I have been sent back upstairs to my closet to try again before Cheryl allows me out of the house. Once her approval is granted, forget about it, you have been validated, and just move on. In our relationship, I suppose I am the sentimental one, and Cheryl provides no safe harbor for hokum. If she doesn't like something, it is dead to her. She has destroyed some of the most wonderful musicals for me with her "you gotta be kidding me" sensibility. Early on, when we started going out, she, without hesitation, compassion, and regard, dismembered the sound of music. for me. There's the part in the movie where the Julie Andrews character, the Maria nun, and training person, makes play clothes for the Von Trapp family as they parade around Nazi sympathizing Austria, singing "Though a Deer, a Female Deer." That's when Cheryl first revealed her dark side to me, and please forgive her language as she looked into my soul with those beautiful burning brown eyes and said, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." Play clothes out of drapes? Really? Well, that was the end of that wonderful Rodgers and Hammerstein musical masterpiece for me. Never again will I ever be able to listen to The Lonely Goatherd and the gut-wrenching I Am 16 Going on 17 without feeling completely ridiculous. Don't even get me started on what she did to Gandhi. I'll just suggest it had something to do with his diaper look. Cheryl, you are loved and cherished by all who know you, but no more so than by me. When I met you 64 years ago at our corner school bus stop at Fenwick and Tremor, how fortunate that I am to look back today on that bus stop that first brought us together, and the wonderful life I have been privileged to share with you. I asked Catherine to capture our earliest encounter where it all began, and of course, no one could do it better.
I could have. I did this last night at 1 in the morning.
Cheryl, I need you.
Dad, I don't know if you wanted to do it.
I want you here. You're fine. You
I
can
don't need
stand
to be
here.
here.
Sure. This is the artist.
Oh, God.
Cheryl. That was familiar.
Everybody see it?
Want to hold it up?
Hold it up, Cheryl.
By the way, Cheryl, just a little trivia. What is the corner house there? Renee?
That's
Who's the
Brenda
corner
Taubman's
house? Jeff?
Brenda Taubman's house.
A side by side.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was where.
Mark Wallach and Brenda Taubman.
That is a laundry room.
Come up here, Cheryl. Come here.
Taubman.
You love it?
And Mark Wallach lived on the other side. We know Stu.
How good is that picture, huh? All right, thank you, Catherine. So I want you to know, of all my blessings, of which I have many, Cheryl, you are my greatest one. And although you so thoroughly and utterly destroyed the sound of music, forever for me, please permit me to redeem just a small piece of it tonight to let you know how grateful I am for the privilege of sharing my life with you. In the words of Oscar Hammerstein, somewhere in my youth and childhood, I must have done something good. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Ponsky Gunson. Now, by the way, Cheryl, now follow that.
My glasses. I'm for Clint. Okay. I'm gonna have to read this because I'm not a public speaker like my brother, Jesus. But I want to thank you all for coming tonight to share this milestone with me. And thank Stuart and my beautiful daughters. It's everything I wanted. Everyone in this room is who I wanted to be here tonight, and you're here. Which is sort of scary to me, because like, like I must